So this is the AmyJo show, and it's 1:39 in the morning, and I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I had like this whole thought process thing about things that had happened and some of the things about our country, so thought I'd share with you guys. Yesterday at dinner, me and my family were watching something about some political thing with Hillary Clinton and Obama and blah blah blah. Well, anyways, I was just kidding around with my dad, and I said that I wanted to move to Canada, and he like flipped out and he's like, Canada's even worse than America in some ways, and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, at least they have free healthcare, you know. And he's like, do you know how much they pay in taxes for that free healthcare? More than half their income goes to taxes and blah blah blah. Well, at the time I didn't really care to argue. I just wanted to move to Canada because Hillary Clinton might become president, and I'm not down for that. But I was just thinking, you know, before I went to sleep about that, and I was like, even though they have to pay a crap load of taxes, what we don't pay in taxes goes to us paying for health care. So doesn't it, like, even out? Also, if you think about it, those kids who have cancer in Canada are probably getting more help because the whole country helps pay for them to get help. Whereas here, like, a lesser family wouldn't be able to pay for their child to get help and have to ask for donations and feel like they may feel bad because they can't pay for their child to get better. You know, it's hard. So I brought that up. I thought about that. So I said, you know what? As America sometimes, like, we stick our noses in other people's business, unlike Canada. We have the death penalty, unlike Canada. You know, there's just so many things that Canada does better, you know, but, I mean, America's cool. And my dad did point out that some of the terrorists from 9/11 came over to Canada because Canada wasn't paying enough close attention, and they were on, like, a watch list or whatever. And I was like, well, I mean, you know, people slip over the border all the time from different places. I mean, it happens. So then, since, and then I was thinking, you know, I'm sorry people died in 9/11, but if we didn't stick our noses in other people's business, things like that wouldn't happen. It doesn't happen to Canada. It doesn't happen to Australia. And, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry to those families and everything, but I feel like it's kind of our own fault. And then my dad tried to tell me off for trying to move to Canada, so I just said that I'd move to Australia. Then my mom jumped in and said that the Australian government won't allow people to move there unless they have jobs they need, you know. And she was like, apparently you can't just up and move to Australia. So I decided I'm just going to move to Australia and live on the beach in a box. At least I wouldn't have to worry about getting bombed, and because they don't stick their noses in other people's business. So the point is, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't want to live in America if Hillary Clinton becomes president. I don't think she should. And I'm pretty much an independent when it comes to voting, even though I can't vote yet. But if I could, I would be like, I wouldn't side with one and just always vote one way. I would like hear the issues. But when it comes to voting, I tend to lean to the Republican side of things. I wish I could vote, because I'm pretty much sure that even though I'm only 17, I'm fully capable of deciding who I think should be president. I mean, then again, there are a lot of people my age who probably shouldn't be deciding things like that. They probably shouldn't even decide what they wear to school in the morning, but whatever. I mean, what really changes from the time you're 17 to the time you're 18? I mean, that's not even, like, a big step there, you know? Which leads me to another thing. Why do you have to be 21 to drink, like, alcohol? If we can fight in a war and smoke a cigarette at 18, why can't we have a beer, you know? I mean, is alcohol really that bad? I guess you could answer that as a yes. Like, alcohol is bad, like, people go drunk driving and stuff like that. But if people really thought it was that bad, we'd still have prohibition. And seeing as we don't, I don't want to hear that nonsense. And another thing, marijuana has almost the same effects as alcohol, so why is it still illegal? There really isn't a point anymore for it to be illegal. You know, in the 60s it was legal, but most people were tripping on acid, So when the government realized that everyone was going crazy because they were on acid, they outlawed all kinds of drugs without like seriously looking into different effects and stuff. So I mean, I understand why heroin and that and like crack and acid are all illegal and stuff like that, because those can have some like serious lasting effects or whatever. But marijuana, seriously? I'm just saying that I'm not saying that everyone should just up and smoke a bunch of weed, you know, because I don't think you should technically do that. All I'm saying is, like, if weed is legal, alcohol should be. Which leads me back to the fact that prohibition didn't last, so why is weed still illegal? I guess right now the laws against weed aren't really lasting either. First of all, people are going to do it anyways, kind of like during prohibition when people would drink moonshine, you know? And, I mean, it's already decriminalized in California. You can't even get in trouble for it anymore unless you have more than an ounce. So, they're just likely to take it from you. The fact is, sometimes the government makes really stupid decisions about things, and I think that it more has to do with people not really, when people get voted into office, they don't make changes that should be made. I'm not saying that everyone should get in office just to try to make weed legal or whatever, but I'm talking about like going to war and stuff like that. I don't think people really think it through. I think they do what the rest of the country would want. Like, at first everyone was all for going to Iraq because of 9/11 and everything, but now a lot of people are like, well, we shouldn't be over there. And my dad's in the army, and he's been to Iraq, you know. I mean, that's his job. He signed up to fight for the country. I'm not saying that we should bring them all back because the families or whatever, they know what they're doing when they signed up for the army, you know. But at the same time, it's like, should we really be in Iraq? I mean, I don't know. I think we rushed into doing things that we shouldn't have done without really thinking through the lasting effects of what's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a super political like genius or anything. I don't know everything when it comes to being in Iraq and everything. I mean, I'm not the president. I'm not in Congress. I'm just a 17-year-old girl. But I do have like serious views on certain things, and I think if people really took the time to consider their actions, like not only in the government but in everyday life, then things wouldn't be the way they are right now. But I mean, who's gonna listen to me? I'm just a 17-year-old girl. It's 1:48 now, and I'm pretty tired, so I guess I'm gonna end this little discussion or whatever. Good night.